Welcome to a new episode of Mama Tales, a space where we share our stories, our truths, our fears, and accomplishments in this motherhood journey. If this is your first time listening, welcome. There are loads of episodes to binge on, so feel free to just check them out. Quick housekeeping before we get started with the episode. I made some changes on the website, so that's at mamatalespodcast.com. That should make it a lot easier to listen to episodes on there. So if you don't want to download a dedicated podcasting app or you find it difficult to listen to these episodes, just go onto the website, click on episodes, and you should be good to go. So the website is mamatalespodcast.com. I will link to it in the show notes of this episode. In case you did not know yet, this podcast is also on Instagram on the handle at mamatalespodcast. So do follow us there, and you can also find me on Instagram at Salimogure. That's SALLYMUGURE, where I share my day-to-day and a lot of podcast stuff as well, both this podcast and other podcasts that I really, truly love and enjoy listening to. So please do follow as well. Oh, something new and exciting. This podcast is finally on YouTube. And I think it's just another great platform to access the podcast. So if you love YouTube, just search for Mama Tales Podcast and subscribe. Currently, I'm uploading these audio episodes there, but I might maybe dip my toes into video podcast. Video is nothing new to me. I have done it quite a while. I've been a tech reviewer. I've been a travel vlogger in my past. Feels like it was a long time ago. Yeah. So I do love video. I just don't know if I have the capacity right now to do it, but hey, listen, I'll try my best. Because I think it's a whole new thing to unlock and could provide a lot of value to a lot of you guys. So yeah, so just go check it out. Search for Mama Tales Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. Send me feedback, anything that you think you would like to say there. And yeah, let's just grow that platform together. I'll make sure to leave all the relevant links, podcast related, in the show notes of this episode. So don't worry if you didn't catch it the first time I said it. I don't think I have much chit chat today, to be honest. Let me just say, life is lifing. You know, I have so much on my plate. I feel like I always do, but this past weeks, it's been intense, both podcast wise, motherhood wise, and work wise. But thankfully, what I can say is that my pregnancy has been very kind to me this past few weeks. So at least I'm not stressing about that. And I keep trying to catch up with my days and, accomplish tasks. So let's just say I feel so proud right now for recording this right now and knowing that this podcast episode will be out on time on Saturday, as they always are, which is a big thing. I'm very, very proud of that. I need to keep reminding myself to appreciate the little wins instead of looking at all the things I have not done yet, right? So yeah, so that's me. And that's where we are at right now. Let's just jump onto the story of this episode. So we'll be hearing from Anita. I quote unquote met Anita on Instagram through her page. That's at Tales of a Working Mom. And she chronicles her days as a working mom, right? And all that it comes with. I really enjoyed listening to her story and truly empathized with the decisions and struggles that working moms have to deal with while pursuing a career and raising a family at the same time. This is something that a lot of women have to do, and it's very easy to take it for granted just how difficult sometimes a workplace is in accommodating women. So let's listen to her story.
My name is Anita Hinga. Hinga is my husband. He's called Philip Hinga. And I have one daughter who is called Taraji. She is 1 year and 5 months. I have not been married for long. Been married for 2 years, 2 and almost a half. I am born again. I love Christ as my personal savior. What else can I say about myself? I am a working mom. Yeah, with my daughter from 8 to 5. Or actually, it's from 7 to 4:30, 5 there. every single day.
Interesting. You're about to enter those, we call them that toddler phase. I think you're there already.
Yeah, I'm already there.
So let's dig into your motherhood journey. So maybe you can paint a picture about how life was before baby.
I think I didn't have a life before baby. I got married in 2019, and immediately I got pregnant. So our life started from there. I think life was all good. The honeymoon was good, and we were back home. And then we realized I was pregnant, and it was awesome. We were happy. And then a month and a half in, I started bleeding from nowhere. Like I was in the kitchen cooking, and then I see blood flowing, and I'm like, wow, what is this? And mind you, when I knew that I was pregnant, we went to see a doctor who told us the moment you see blood, just know things are not okay. So rush to the hospital. And here I am, a month and a half in. We've just come from honeymoon. We are so excited. And I'm seeing blood. And I think my whole body freezed. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And the next thing I found myself in the toilet. I was just crying. And I'm saying, oh God, I definitely know it is it. But I am choosing to stand on your word and to stand with you. And I didn't even have words. I just say, oh God, is this really it? You know, when you'd have nothing to say, you are just there, you are confused, you are crying. At that moment, I didn't even know where my husband was. I couldn't even locate him. After a few minutes, I think he composed himself, and then he came and told me, okay, let's rush to the hospital. So we rushed to the hospital. Getting to the hospital, oh my goodness, hospitals are just another thing. Wow. I go to the hospital. My husband is telling them it's an emergency, and they're saying, no, we can't do anything with you unless you have the medical card. We normally have the insurance card. At that time we had the insurance card, and so truly forgot about it when we were leaving home. And my husband was just begging them, telling them, please, this is an emergency, just do anything go with her, and then I will go rush get the card, but just start treating her and knowing what the problem is. And the receptionist was so rude. And at that moment, I am looking at her and I'm like, really, do you know what is going on in my body right now? Like, I am losing a child as I see, and you're telling me about a card. He told my husband, you have to do it really fast, because the longer you stay here, the longer we also keep her. So my husband, yes, my husband told them, okay, you will take her to the doctor and I will rush. So they agreed, yes, yes. So my husband rushed as I think I went to the doctor. So at that time it was at night. The doctor, there was no gynecologist, so I had to see a general doctor. So I saw the doctor. I think the doctor was in consultation with the gyna, because she didn't know much about pregnancies and all that. So I think she was told I should go for a scan so that we can know how many weeks the baby is, and what could be the problem. Went for the scan. By that time, my husband was already back. He got it quickly, and they agreed to take me in. So we went for the scan. That was the longest period of my life. Oh God. Wow. And you've been told to wait for 1 hour. 1 full hour. one full hour you think so many things are going on in your head, like what could it be? What the other doctor's words kept on ringing in my mind, like, if you see blood, know that things are not okay. And that is the only thing I could remember. That's the only thing that was running in my mind. Things are not okay. Things are not okay. On the other end, I'm like, God, you have great plans for me. You haven't confused emotions and all that. But as we were there, we talked to our best couple. We called them, and they were praying with us. My best lady was so tense. He was calling doctors to know what the problem is, because she's never heard of such a thing. She, as women, we know when you see blood when you're pregnant, that is miscarriage, definitely. But now, at the moment, you can't tell me, oh, it's that, because it's even hard to say. You can't even say. So she was calling and calling. She called a certain doctor that a friend of theirs that she knew, and the doctor also didn't know of such a case. So he told her such cases. Okay, what did he tell her, by the way? He told her he's never heard of a case before, but let's just wait for the doctor's report so that he cannot tell her something wrong, because the word that he could have told her is the same thing she could have told me. So she just kept on telling me everything will be okay. She prayed with us. That was during the 1 hour wait. So the results came in, and I was told I have subchronic hematoma. I have never heard of such a thing. It's blood around, it's around your uterus. It's blood around the uterus or outside the uterus, something like that. But it was not affecting the baby in any way. It was just there. Yeah, it's accumulation of blood next to the uterus. The baby was safe, but it was outside. So I've never heard of such a thing. Me and my husband have never heard of such a thing. So we are wondering, what is this? And then the worst part is, hey, doctors don't know how to encourage at all. They never want to give hope. So the doctor is here. She's telling me, okay, 85% of people survive and 15% it doesn't survive. So we cannot assure you that the baby will come to term, because it's too early. I was 4 weeks actually at that time. And at that moment, oh God, if my baby does not make it, if this baby does not survive, what am I going to do? How will my life be? Because at that moment, me and my husband and I were saying we have bonded with the baby. It was 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks after we realized that we were pregnant, and you are already in the mood. You have the joy that you are pregnant, and you're starting to accept it and all that. And then you hear all this, like, okay, no, okay, God, no. Yeah. So we went home. We were given some drugs to go and take. And that was the beginning of my pregnancy journey. Let me tell you, it was a tough one. The first 4 to 5 months, I was really scared. I was scared of losing my baby. I I didn't know what I would do if I lose the baby. I don't know how it would be. I'm just married to this man. I don't know if he will love me less, or he will start thinking other words. The things that go on in your mind as a woman are so much. How will it be? And I couldn't stop thinking about all those things throughout the first, I think it was the first 4 months. So let's fast forward. We went home, I got some drugs, and oh, by the way, the drugs I was taking them. I'm normally afraid of taking medicines. So it took me a while to look at them and figure out how I'm going to take them in. So as I was doing that, my husband was checking through the meds, and we found one that was for aborting the baby. Oh my god. Wow. They're saying they don't consider it as a child because it's not full time, so they were saying that it will clear it. Actually, my husband had to call them. He was very mad. He told them, why are you giving us such a medicine? So I think the doctor in his defense was trying to say, we wanted the blood to clear. So the medicine was to help just in case the body would choose to let it go. Wow, it added more stress. I felt so bad. I'm like, why can someone just do this? Like, utupe tu drug hivo ya kuclear. So at that moment again, I started thinking, what if I had taken that drug? Even that could be it. So I didn't take the drugs. I took one. It was called Dufaston. I took it for a long time. It went for 3 months every day, every day. So at that time, I was told to rest because they were saying the cause of the blood will be too many activities here and there. When you're newly married, we tried doing everything in the house. We clean, wash clothes, wash the house. So I was that. I was that, and so they were saying you need to slow down. You need to have a rest. And they told me bed rest, and I didn't really know what bed rest meant at that moment. I'm saying this because later on it happened again. I drank the medicine for I think a week or two, and then I started bleeding again. It came back again. Oh, wow. And that time I'd taken off from work, I think 1 week and a half. And then I started going to work again. So I went for a week and then it happened again. Wow. I'm like, oh, what is this? Is this going to clear really? And the 2 weeks, I'm still stressed. I don't even know if the baby will make it or not. So I went back to the hospital again. Now this time I went to a different hospital, a different doctor. The doctor told me the same thing. He did the scan, did everything. He told me it's just that. So, but for now, for this time, you need to have bed rest. And he defined what bed rest is. Like you sleep, get everything done for you. You even when you want to drink water, let someone bring for you water at where you are. That is bed rest, and I'm giving it to you for 1 week or 2 weeks. There I'm thinking of my work. When you get married, the employers now know very soon a baby will come and will be told 3 months maternity and all the stress of women during pregnancy. So I told the doctor, let me just take 1 week. Let me just take the 1 week and see if I think I'll be okay. If I feel I won't be okay, then I will add more days. So I went home and did that. I rested, but I'm still taking the Dufaston, the medicines. I took it for 4 months. I think until I went to the second trimester. That finished. The baby survived. Wow, yeah, we went for the 4 months, drank the medicine. I used to go to the doctor every other month. I know every other, I think it was 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So she was doing well until 4 months, and the doctor cleared me. So let me tell you, when I was at work, My boss used to see me sleeping in the desk, and he would run, "What is wrong with you nowadays?" And I just used to tell him, "Just leave me alone, please." So I had not told them. In fact, at that time, I had fear. I don't know why I had fear of telling people I was pregnant at work. I was excited I'm pregnant, but I wasn't excited in telling people I am pregnant, especially at work. I didn't really know why, but part of it was these people will think less of me, they start treating me differently, like I am not able to do one or two things. So I didn't want that. I wanted them to treat me as normal. But in real sense, I am not okay. I am not normal. It affected me like the first 3 months. I think my employer, if he was asked to rate me at that moment, at that time, he could give me 0 out of 10 because it was hard. I couldn't eat. I had heartburns. I felt like crying like the whole day. Good thing I had several women we were with there. So they definitely suspected I was pregnant. Without me telling them, they just knew, this one is pregnant. That was the first 3 months. Work was horrible. I never used to look forward to going to work because every morning before I step out of the door, I had to vomit. And I had to go back, change before I go to work. So it was horrible. And here we are. Remember, we are still newlyweds at that moment. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cook because of the nausea that I had, and also the rest that I was told to have. So my husband used to do all the cooking. He will do the things here and there to help me around. And he will tell me the other things, just leave them as they are. The cleaning, the washing, but I couldn't listen. When you're newly married, you want to do everything right and perfectly. You want to wash around, you want to clean the room and everything. But for me, it got to 6 months and I said, I'm done. So from 6 months to 7, 8, 9 months, there I was okay. It was a walk in the park. Apart from being so emotional most of the times, I will get home and feel overwhelmed. Like work was too much, and here I am expected to cook. I have no strength. I am tired. I end up crying. I would cry and tell my husband I'm so tired. I just want this baby out. I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. So the last month I got tired. I left work early. I left from my maternity leave, I think 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks to me giving birth. There is nothing bad as you anticipating every day that you will give birth and you don't. It was a really tough season for me. Every day I used to wake up and say, this is the day. This is it for me. This is it. Today, I know I will go to work and I will not finish this day. I will go home and say I'm going to give birth. Days went, weeks went, and until I couldn't do it anymore. I went to work one Monday morning and I just started having pain. And I told myself, maybe this is it. Let me just go home and tell my boss that I am going to give birth. Let me tell you, I came home, nothing happened. I was okay. The pain was just for the moment. So I told myself, next Monday I will go to work. Monday reached. I said, no, what if I go to work and then I give back tomorrow? No, let me just wait. It went for 2 weeks. It was the longest 2 weeks ever. So the 2 weeks went, and imagine the baby came and I least expected it. I was just at the house. The previous night, my stomach was paining, and I couldn't associate the pain with labor at all. I could not. He just kept on saying, my stomach is paining, my stomach is paining. I don't know what I have eaten. I must have eaten something bad. And my husband is cooking and telling him, this stomach is bothering me. Maybe I should get some painkillers so that it stops paining. And here I am, I don't like painkillers. So when that thought came, I said, let me not take the painkillers. Let me just go and sleep. So I slept. And telling you that night, I rolled and rolled and rolled in the bed and rolled. In the morning, I woke up, told my husband, my stomach tonight, it has really pained me. I think I should figure out what I ate the last 2 days so that I can know the root cause for this stomach ache. And he told me, maybe you just find out so that it doesn't become something serious. It now started coming on and off during the day. It will pain for like 30 minutes. I will go and sleep and then wake up. It's okay. I walk around the house. It starts again. And I don't know why I didn't realize. I think maybe I was waiting for it too much. I was anticipating giving birth until until the real deal is here, and I couldn't even realize. So I went, imagine, all the way until 5. 5, there's no one in the house. I'm all alone. My husband has left for the day because I told him it's nothing serious. It's just a stomach ache, stomach upset. And at that time, my brother-in-laws were here, so they also left at 4. In fact, they didn't even know there was anything going on with me, because when it started paining, I used to go to the bedroom, sleep, and then come back. So everyone left. Everyone left, and then I just felt like going to the toilet. Went to the toilet, came out of the toilet, went and slept on the bed. So as I was sleeping on the bed, water started dripping. I'm like, where is this water coming from? And then it hit me. Wait, I am in labor. I've been in labor since yesterday night and I have not realized. Oh, wow. I started calling people around. So now, imagine surprisingly, my husband was not the first person to call because I know he was far away. So I needed someone who was near so that he or she could dash me to the hospital. So I called Best Couples, now the man. He works nearer to our place. So I called him. I am all tense. Where are you? Are you at work or you are at home? I think at the manner of which I called him, he also got confused. He told me I am at work, but in real sense he is at home. So I told him, I think I am about to give birth. I said, okay, now talk to. So now I talked to the wife so that she can take me through, because the wife had been there before. So that I tell her the position that I am in so that we can know what to do. So the wife called me. So I explained now every detail. So she kept calming me. She told me, now you know, even if you get the baby at home, it's still okay. Anita, don't panic. She's just trying to cool me down so that they think of a plan. So they planned everything. No, I think at that moment I'd already called my husband. So I left them to figure it out as I was talking to my best lady. So she tried to calm me down within a few minutes. Someone was here to take me to the hospital, and out of nowhere, my husband was also there. That's when you know somewhere is not far. The far that you think is not that far. So I went to the hospital, gave birth. The birth story is something on its own. But yeah, here we are. The baby came. We praised the Lord and said, "How God, you have done it for us. This is the baby that we were told 15% may not make it." We were so grateful. And our lives now changed again.
Yeah, let's enter that life of now the baby is here. how does life look like right now? Because I imagine in a few months you have to go back to work, right?
At that time, imagine I was just living in the moment. I never used to think about work at all. Like throughout my maternity leave, I never thought of work. Life was good. Life was good for me. I think I was very comfortable at home. I was excited. I have a baby. The first few weeks for me they were I think it was the best time ever for me because my mom was here, and my maid of honor was here. She stayed with us for 2 weeks, and she would just take care of me. She would cook and do everything in the house. I felt like a princess. She would look after the baby. I never washed my baby when she was a day old. I think I started washing her when she was a week or 2 weeks. Everything used to get done for me, and it was all nice until the 2 weeks when now I was alone with my husband. Now we're dealing with life, the two of us and our baby. But it was okay. We figured things out. For me, for the first 3 months were not, I couldn't say it was so hard for me because I used to live, I think, yeah, that was my slogan, to live one day at a time. Whatever I could get done, I would do. But I used to know my priority was the child. I would wake up, wash her, feed her, every other thing could wait. The house, I never used to bother. The main important thing was my baby and myself. I went back to work when my baby was 2.5 months. Because remember, I told you I went for maternity leave earlier. So now the 2 weeks are being paid back here. And luckily at that time, I got a relative to come and stay with us. I didn't have enough milk stored. I started pumping, I think, when I realized, wow, I'm going to work in the next 2 weeks. That's when I got serious with the pumping milk. My husband would tell me, pump milk, pump, or else this baby will take none. And I was tired at night. I couldn't just wake up at night and start pumping milk. I was so exhausted during the day. I didn't know that that would be my stress when I start going to work. Wow. I was really stressed the first few weeks because the baby, I've not introduced the baby to solids, and I didn't want her to take none. I preferred doing exclusive breastfeeding. But here I am. I have how many more months to to introduce solids? 3.5. I think it was 3.5. Yeah. So that was my major stress at the moment. How would I be able to keep up? So I tried. I would pump in the morning before I go to work, ensure I have fed her, ensure she has milk during the day, and then I would carry my pump to work. At 10 o'clock, I would go to the toilet. Thank goodness our toilets, okay, they were clean, but this is baby's food. It's her food, and you're doing it in the toilet. I had no option. That was the only place I could go. There was nothing. In fact, no one knew I was even pumping milk. It was not even anyone's stress, by the way, I am a breastfeeding mother or what. I would sneak out for, I think, 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. I would go out, go pump, toilet, so that I can take the milk to her at home when I go home at 12. Luckily, my boss allowed me to go home at 12. So the first month I tried, and then my bank was now empty. Now I was living hand to mouth. Those were the toughest days. They were. And then, I think there's something with stress and breastfeeding. They don't get along. Wow, my milk reduced. I am having stress at work. I couldn't get time to pump. Will get home, I am tired. I don't even feel like pumping. I will cry and tell God, what life is this now? Because my desire was to exclusively breastfeed, and here I am struggling, trying to juggle work and baby, and even just throughout the night. Because my baby by the way used to sleep through the night. That is something I am forever grateful. She would wake up. She would sleep at maybe 10, which at that time I was also sleeping at the same time, so it was okay. And she will wake up maybe at 4 or 5 to feed, and then she will just go to bed. So 4 5 is already in the morning. It's even okay. Yeah, but now here I am. I have to pump. I have to pump twice in the night. So I will wake up at 1, and then when she wakes up at 4, I have also to pump. Well, as she breastfeeds on the other side, I pump on the other side. So I'll go to work. Well, I was tired, and work was just a lot, surprisingly, during that season. And then I got promoted, and I'm like, wow, God, am I supposed to be happy? Am I supposed to be sad? Because with promotion comes a lot of responsibilities. Here I am a new mother, just trying to figure things out. As it is by itself, I am struggling during the night to pump, and then being able to keep up with work, and then promotion. It was just not making sense. Someone would think I am ungrateful, but I think any mother would relate. How do you even? And being I was being promoted to a managerial position. And as a manager, you have to be there for your team members. So imagine on days where you want to take the baby to the clinic. Ah, I used to get stressed out. I did it once, told my boss I'm going to the clinic, and he was like, okay, okay. That look you're given, so you've already started. And then I went again, and then I think there was a time I had no house help. The house help just went, and I was told, now, I've promoted you to a new position. And the position that you're in, you really need to plan yourself, and you need to sort your personal issues. Wow, my goodness. He didn't want it to come out badly, but it came out badly. At that time when my niece was there, but she left when my baby turned 6 months. So now that is when house help drama started. House help drama is just another thing. Let me just say, someone to take care of the baby. It's not easy to get someone to stay with the baby. Let me not just say family, but just someone to fully dedicate herself to staying with the baby. It's not easy. It's not like us moms, like the mother. The mother, you would say, I'd leave everything for my child. But this is another person who has not gone through what you've gone through, doesn't know how much you value the baby, you know. So she won't be able to take care of the baby as you would have as a mother. And it wouldn't have any effect on her if she decides to wake up and go. So house help drama, I started house help drama again. I would take days off from work, and my employer started getting bothered about it until there was a time he talked to a friend of mine, and said, do you know Anita? Now she's asking, he's asking my friend whether Anita, what do you think? She has so many personal issues. No, you don't do that. And imagine the personal issues he's talking about as me going to take care of my baby. Because the only times, let me tell you, I will take off is when I'm taking the child to the clinic, when I have house help drama. I never used to take leave at all, like to just rest and do my, no, it was everything to do with my baby. And that used to beat me up, and I used to get bothered by it. I will tell God, okay, God, you know, I have never taken a day to stay home. It's all because of my child. Because the house helps gave me their drama until it reached to a point where I was asking myself, God, am I really supposed to be working? Am I really supposed to be a working mom? Because this I can't handle anymore. I am tired. I have thought of leaving work several times. The worst one that I had, and that is after having several of them, was one who was not feeding my baby. Wow. And she was a mother. Imagine a mother. You see, when people tell you you go for a mother will take care of your kids because these young girls don't stay. I said, okay, let me try because all my other households have been girls. So let me try a mother, maybe things may work out. Why I got so disappointed. My baby would feed on porridge from morning until 2. The baby has just taken porridge. And it's not that there is no money. Money is there. Like there was everything, food was there. I normally ensure that I have, the basic things for cooking, the rice, unga, and everything, so that the house help does not have to get trouble going out and doing what to get food. So everything was just in the house. It was just laziness. And I wondered how. Why would you do that? And my husband suspected it, and we will just you brush it off because you've not gotten her red-handed. Like right now she has not eaten. So it disturbed me for a while because we noticed it the first time, the second time, and then my baby just, I think their spirits didn't get along because when either of us would get home, my baby will start crying. She would cry and she would not want to see the lady at all. Like you tell her, baby, go to auntie and take this. Why? My baby would run. She will even start crying. So I think adding 1 plus 1 and just seeing all those little stuffs, it started getting to me. And I started praying. I said, motherhood, you have to go on your knees. You have to go on your knees. I started praying, telling God, God, if I release this girl right now, I will be forced to take off again at work. And if I take off at work, I don't know how I will start doing that at the first place because my boss at that moment I felt he doesn't understand me. And this is bothering me. What do I do now? Do I tell this girl to go away and stay without help? And then what will I do at work? It used to eat me up the first day, the second day. So I think I just got wisdom. I said, let me handle things as they come first. Let me prove, let me know, let me be sure that she's not taking care of the baby well, or the things that I was thinking are true. So one day I just decided, let me come home. Let me come home for lunch early. I came home at I think 1:30 and found my baby has not eaten. And that was it for me. 1:30. So I asked her, so what are you planning? Because it's different when it's 1:30 and someone is preparing food. You'll understand. Yes, there's potential. It's 1:30. There's no signs of doing anything in the kitchen. I asked her politely, what has the baby eaten? Akasema, no, she's just from taking porridge. It's 1:30. She's from taking porridge. How? So at that moment, I knew she's feeding on porridge throughout. Because in the morning when I leave, the baby is being given porridge. And then I told her at 10 o'clock, around 10 o'clock, ampatie juice, fresh juice. And then at 12, 12:30, latest 1, from 10 to 1, those are 3 hours. The baby must be hungry. At least latest 1, akuya shampea chakula. Wow. So it's 1:30, nothing. So I'm wondering, 1:30, she starts cooking. When will the food get ready? And my baby is here, she's angry. Imagine when I got home, my baby ran to me and she breastfed. She fed. I even lacked words. Me talking to her was after my baby had fed, and I felt she was okay. And that is when I started talking. I just composed myself and said, let me be calm because I was going back to work. And I don't know what would happen the 3 hours that I would leave them until 5. So I composed myself. I talked to her well. So what are you planning to do? Are you going to cook right now? Why have you cooked for her late? No, ask just getting to know like why she has done that. But imagine she had nothing to say. She said, she's taken porridge right now. And mi niliona ako sawa. Nikasema okay, lakini sijafurahia. I just told her that and then I went to work. I stepped out of the door. I told God, please protect my child. Because if this woman has known I am not happy, what's the thing that she can do to my baby? And I just told God, protect her until I get home and just let the girl go. I called my husband immediately and told him, this lady is going home today. My husband is like, what is happening? What's up? Why have you decided your mind so suddenly? And it's 1:30 and the baby has not fed. Plus we've been okay. The reason for her going home was not the baby being not fed at that day only. It's because we had seen things happening, but we couldn't prove. It was based on thoughts. So we couldn't prove that this is what she does. But kuna those little things that you see and you say, let me ignore. So I think that day when that happened, it was just an assurance. And if this has happened today, and then all the other things have been happening, definitely been happening. So I got home, told her at night. I told her I was not happy. I've been noticing a few things here and there, and I am not happy. Do you know she apologized? At the back of my mind, I didn't want so many stories with her, but at the back of my mind, I was like, you knew you were doing something wrong. Why were you doing it? And you are a mother. She was a mother to 2 kids. I don't know. Maybe she was lying to me. Yeah, because mother to a mother, you can't do that to another woman.
That is hard. So I can imagine you were just like wondering if you should really be working or not, yeah?
But every time that thought came, I will tell my husband and we will not be on the same page. So I will go back to God. God, me and my husband are not in the same page. So does it mean that it's not it, or what is it? Because every other time that thought came, I will tell my husband, no, I think this is it for me. Let me just stay home. My husband will tell me, no, you just work because this is just for a moment. The baby will grow up. You just work. I know you have a passion for working. You cannot always kaa home. He used to tell me nitamsumbua. I will tell him, nataka kwenda job, sijui nifanye hivi, sijui nifanye hivi. So wewe just work because I know it's not your stronghold. I never used to understand those words. Like, why are you telling me it's not my stronghold? This is me wanting to stay with my baby and keeping our home so that it can save us from all this drama. But I told God I won't fight it anymore. I will just go one day at a time and see how it goes. So I released her. I took off from work. And I think at that moment I didn't want to care. I just said, let them think what they want to think. Because now what am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. I have no a close relative. Okay, my mom is here, but my mom also has a job. So I cannot inconvenience her all the time because the other house helps I've inconvenienced her here and there. But this time I just said I'm taking off. I took off, I stayed with the baby, and then I got another help. Got another one, went. But now I got one in July that we're still with her until to date. I think this is the longest ever. And imagine things started to be okay. I was even performing well at work. No, I think when your baby is okay at home and she's okay with the person she is with at home is taking care of her very well. As a mother, you are able to perform. Even at work, you are very confident out there. And that has been my journey. I left the company that I was in. I went to another company, but nothing is different. In fact, where I am right now, the number of women that are there, I think we're 17 out of 300 and something stuff. It's a journey. If I want these things to be implemented, like having a room where working moms can pump milk, it's a journey. It will be something that I should prepare myself to get fights, to get challenges, you know. And then not everyone sees, unless you're a woman. I don't think a man will understand when you tell them you want a room just for women to pump milk. They won't get it. But that will be my desire, by the way, for moms who leave children at home and desire to exclusively breastfeed, that employers should think of that. Just having a room where it doesn't even have to have much, just a room. And then for us women, we will do the rest. If we want to add to put things, we will put. If we want to do, we just need an area that this is for us. You're able to go, or even an allowance for kids to come to that place, feed, and then go back home. If only we could have that. Maybe someone will hear this and consider. And that's why there's so many women avoid the stress. So many women who are going back to work will just say, let me just get formula for the baby. But formula right now, this economy is expensive. And some just have the desire, but the only thing limiting them is the timings. First of all, you're going to work from 8 to 5. That's like 8 hours. Will the milk be enough? If I want to pump, where will I be pumping? How will it be reaching the baby? Such things. You just end up deciding to use formula. But if we could have, by the way, conducive environments for us to pump the milk, and we are flexible, at least for the first 3 months, because we are 3 months at home, and then the 3 months while the baby is while you're going back to work, it's just 3 months to the baby to get to 6 months. They can make it flexible for the moms, because it's just 3 months and you might serve them a lifetime. People stay in companies for 5-10 years, and it's just 3 months, and you're not asking for much. You're just asking for you to be flexible. Like, you're able to, if you have a car, you're able to drop the milk to the baby, or you get an hour early, or you get an hour late, get a room where you can pump, such things, until the baby is at least able to take food. I love sharing. Maybe I love sharing with people. I love fellowships. I know that out there, so many moms are going to work. Like, you see, there's a space in Instagram right now for stay-at-home moms. Like, when you say you're a stay-at-home mom, you'll get 1,000 moms who are stay-at-home moms, and you feel like a community. But for working moms, I have not seen it there. people are not vocal about the struggles that they go through as working moms. People need to know that we're together in this. We are going through struggles also as working moms. It's not easy. I said, let me be the one to start, and then and hear out other women also on their journeys. But I am not really focusing it on working moms. I also do faith and just day-to-day life, career. I don't know, children just come with blessings. They change your life. I am telling you, I was not the same. I used to juggle home and work. I became a hard worker. That in that season where I have my small baby and I've been promoted at work, I felt like I need to do this for my baby. I don't know why we feel like we owe it to our children to work hard. Like for me, even in that season, I felt like, God, I know you've done it for me because this child has come with blessings. This child has come with so many blessings, and I will work hard. And children, by the way, they shift your mind, they make you grow and look things at a different perspective.
One thing that really stood out to me, or rather broke my heart, is the fact that she had to pump milk in the toilet. And I don't know, sometimes sometimes we can be our own worst enemies, where I would be like, hey, but it's a struggle, it's part of life, you just have to do it, stop complaining. But if you just think about the mechanics of it, that you have to go and express milk, sometimes it's not even maybe for your baby is breastfeeding or anything, but you just really having urge to breast and you need to find some relief, and having to do that in a washroom, especially a public place, doesn't feel right. But unfortunately, most times I don't think there's much of a choice. I remember in my old workplace, or rather my last, it's not old, in my last workplace, I only saw a pumping space after we expanded the office. And at that point, one or two of our employees were pregnant and one had given birth. But they weren't the first, right? So there were other women before that who'd gone through that process. And I can't bear imagine where they had to do that from, right? Or if they had to make the choice of not doing that and stopping breastfeeding early. Or, sometimes people are privileged and they have a car to go to, but that's not everyone. And you do have to find those little corners. I remember that space that was created was tiny. It was formerly a kitchen and kind of also used as storage space. But at least the space was there. It didn't look overly comfortable, but it was there. And there was a fridge. And I think someone came and put some butterfly stickers on the wall. Just kind of make it a little bit less of what it was. But at least it provided something clean and safe and private for breastfeeding moms. I know pumping is a chore. Like, I felt it and I was doing it comfortably in the house, right? And I wasn't trying to pump a lot of milk. I just needed enough for night feeds that my husband handles. And it's such a mental thing. I remember days I would struggle. I had to look through my daughter's pictures to kind of stimulate some type of hormone, I don't know. And like when it got tough, like I had this one video of her crying her lungs out, and that would always do the trick. So imagine that, as women in a workplace, you kind of have to sacrifice either your lunch, because you can't multitask. I don't know about multitasking. I'm not that great at doing it. Like, my mind had to focus on that task that I'm doing until at least I got the let down. So you're thinking about, I have this 1 hour that I put lunch away. Let me focus on pumping wherever it is that I'm pumping, get into the mood, think about my baby, remove all the office stress. And I mean, it just feels like a lot. And then to just not give women that little space, it feels almost like torture. And still expecting them to perform, if not at par with their male colleagues, even more, because we know as a minority group or frequently discriminated against group, we kind of need to work more to achieve or to even be seen, right? I think the big takeaway here is we should really be a little bit more considerate to pregnant women and new moms in the workplace. I did an Insta engagement thing where I could hear a lot of great stories on like the kind of benefits that women do get these days from their employers, and I think it can only go up, right? Everything from like getting 6 months maternity leave, getting to work half day, getting that little space, just something that just makes the experience a little bit better, because women are strong, and if they have a happy home, if their babies are healthy and well and happy, trust me, that woman will deliver more than you even expected. So that's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please do feel free to share it. And as usual, this is a call for your story. Every story is powerful. Don't think that, you need to have gone through some insane thing. No. One thing I learned in this motherhood thing is that, man, our experiences are so unique, and we can each learn from each other, no matter what your experience looked like. So yes, feel free to share your story. Let me know either via DMs on my social media pages. You can find them linked below. There's also a quick handy form that is linked in the show notes of this episode that you can also just click through. And yeah, you can also reach me on email at mamatalespod@gmail.com. So see you in the next episode. Bye.